When the Council learned what Earth really was, the galaxy trembled. Ethan Cole stood on the observation deck, looking out at the stars. The Council had always told him humans were insignificant. They were a minor species on the edge of the galaxy, fragile, weak, and unremarkable. Most planets and civilizations ignored Earth. Most species laughed at humans. They had no large fleets, no advanced weapons, and no influence. That was what the records said. That was what everyone believed. Ethan did not care. He had seen humans grow, survive, and adapt. He had lived on Earth long enough to understand that appearances were misleading. Humans were small, yes, but they were strong in ways that no one outside their world could understand. He had watched farmers work through storms that would have killed most alien species, seen engineers build machines under impossible conditions, and observed soldiers train in ways that shaped them for survival. Humans were tested every day, and they endured. In the council chambers far away, Maya Collins, the liaison assigned to monitor Earth, presented her report. She stood in front of the council, trying to maintain a calm face. "Earth remains a minor planet," she said, voice steady. "Their fleet is small, technology is basic compared to others, and their society is not unified. They pose no threat." The council murmured in agreement. Many of the older species looked down at their screens, showing holograms of Earth cities and space stations. To them, the planet seemed primitive. Its surface was covered with blue oceans, green forests, and scattered cities. Humans had built some space stations in orbit, but compared to the fleets of older species, it was nothing. Ethan Cole appeared on the council feed. "You underestimate humans," he said calmly. "You look at our fleets and our technology and see weakness. You look at our planet and see fragility. But you are wrong. Humans survive because we must. We endure because we are tested every day. That is why you should not ignore Earth." Some council members laughed. "Testing, survival, that is natural evolution. All species survive in their own ways. It does not make them strong in comparison to the galactic fleets we maintain." Ethan shook his head slowly. "You do not understand. Earth is not normal. Its gravity is higher than most planets. Its climate is extreme. Its predators are deadly. Its diseases are harsh. Humans survive because we have no choice. Every generation faces conditions that would destroy other species. That is why we are strong." Maya Collins frowned. "Strength in survival is not the same as military power. They may endure storms, earthquakes, and predators, but they do not have the capacity to project force into space at a level that matters." Ethan smiled faintly. "That is where you are wrong. Humans have learned to take what we survive and turn it into skill, into strategy, into strength. You may not see it yet, but when we are tested, we do not break. We adapt. We endure. And when the galaxy comes to test us, you will see the truth." Far from the council chambers on Earth, Captain Ryan Carter stood on the deck of the planet's flagship. The ship was small compared to the Verks or other fleets, but every system was tested and refined. Carter had trained his crew for decades to survive and fight under conditions that would kill most species. Every pilot, every engineer, every soldier knew their environment. Every move, every decision was shaped by the harshness of their world. Lena Brooks, the planet's defense analyst, worked alongside Carter. She was young but brilliant. She had designed the hidden orbital platforms, the underground shipyards, and the automated defense systems. She had tested every scenario she could imagine. "Captain," she said, "we are ready for any fleet that arrives. Earth may seem weak, but no one can match our coordination in high gravity or unpredictable conditions." Carter nodded. "Good, let them come. They will learn soon enough that weakness is not what they think it is." Meanwhile, Daniel Hayes, a junior archivist for the council, quietly read through old, sealed files in the records chamber. Many of the archives were closed centuries ago, warning that Earth was dangerous and unpredictable. Some records had been reclassified to indicate that humans were weak, but Daniel knew the truth. Earth had always been strong, always tested, always surviving the impossible. For centuries, the galaxy had ignored these warnings. For centuries, humans had waited. A sudden alert broke the calm. Sensors on Earth detected multiple unidentified ships approaching the solar system at high speed. Captain Carter walked to the bridge, expression calm but focused. "Identify them," he said. "Multiple fleets," Lena Brooks replied. "They are heading toward Earth. Scanners show weapons systems and large crews. It looks like a full assault." Carter's eyes narrowed. The Council ignored our warnings for too long. Now they must see what humans are capable of. Alert the fleet. Prepare defenses. This will be a test they will never forget. On the Council, alarms rang as Maya Collins received messages from Earth. They are not hiding it anymore, she said, voice shaking. Human ships are mobilizing. They are ready for combat. Ethan Cole appeared again on the feed. You wanted to ignore us. You wanted to see Earth as a minor, fragile planet. Now you are about to see the result of centuries of survival and preparation. Humans do not seek war, but when it comes, we endure and we win. The first wave of enemy scouts entered the solar system. They expected an easy victory, a small planet with weak defenses, barely able to defend itself. But as soon as they approached Earth's orbital perimeter, strange anomalies occurred. Their engines faltered, energy shields flickered, systems overheated. Captain Carter watched calmly. Our environment is our weapon, he said. Every natural force we endure on Earth, every hazard we face daily weakens anyone who does not belong. The Verks will learn the hard way. The enemy fleet launched attacks, expecting humans to scatter or surrender. They did not know that humans had trained for this for centuries. Every ship moved with precision, every fleet maneuver accounted for high gravity and extreme conditions. Their orbital platforms activated, hidden until now. Massive weapons, refined and tested under the toughest conditions, came online, targeting enemy ships with deadly accuracy. Lena Brooks coordinated from her station. Shields are holding, Captain. Enemy fire is off target. They cannot adapt as fast as we can. Carter nodded. Good. Let them see what survival creates. Let them learn the first lesson. The Council members watched in disbelief as feeds showed Verk's ships failing one by one. Their systems could not cope with Earth's gravity and unpredictable environment. Engines overloaded, weapons misfired, crew members panicked. Maya Collins whispered, "This is impossible. They should have destroyed us easily. Why can they not fight properly?" Ethan Cole spoke softly. You cannot understand yet. Humans are not like any other species you have faced. We survive the impossible every day. Our planet is the crucible that makes us strong, and strength born of survival is different from strength born of conquest. We endure, adapt, and overcome. That is why you see what you see. The Verk's fleet tried to regroup, but human ships anticipated every move. Smaller skirmishers moved in precise formations, drawing enemies into traps that were set decades ago, hidden beneath asteroid belts and planetary shadows. Massive human vessels activated from secret hangars, perfectly coordinated with smaller ships and orbital defenses. Daniel Hayes looked at the Council and shook his head. The records were right. Humans were quarantined, hidden, underestimated. They were tested in every way the galaxy could not imagine. And now we see the result. One by one, Verk's scouts failed. Their weapons systems fried. Engines exploded. Hulls cracked. Panic spread among their crews. They had expected an easy conquest, but they were being destroyed by a species they had assumed was weak. Carter stood tall, watching the battle unfold. This is only the beginning, he said. They will try again, others will come, but humans survive, we endure, and we will not be conquered. Lena Brooks smiled faintly. It is strange to watch them fail so completely. They thought Earth was weak, but every step we take is part of centuries of preparation. We survive because we have no choice. Ethan Cole appeared on the Council feed one last time that day. The galaxy must understand. Humans are not fragile. Earth is not weak. We survive, endure, and adapt. The Verks will learn and others will follow. This is only the first lesson. Remember it well. On Earth, the sun set over the oceans, reflecting across the fleet in orbit. Ships returned from patrol, systems tested and ready. The humans had survived the first contact with a major enemy. They had demonstrated skill, endurance, and strategy that no one outside their world could imagine. Captain Carter looked out at the stars. The Council and the galaxy have seen the first measure of what humans can do. They will not forget it, and neither will we. Earth endures, humans survive, and the galaxy is about to learn the truth. Lena Brooks stood beside him. They cannot comprehend it yet. They think we are small, weak, and fragile, but they will see. They will learn. Carter nodded. Yes, and when they do, the galaxy will tremble. Ethan Cole addressed the Council one final time that day. The humans have survived what should have destroyed them. The galaxy has watched, and now you know. Do not underestimate Earth. Do not underestimate humanity. We endure because we must. We survive because we must. And when the galaxy tests us, it will tremble at what we have become. The council sat in silence, absorbing the weight of what had just occurred. Humans were not what they had thought. They were not weak, fragile, or unremarkable. They were strong, adaptable, and enduring, a species forged by survival itself. Far above Earth, human ships returned to orbit, calm, disciplined, and ready. The planet had survived the first real test. Humans had shown the galaxy what it meant to endure, adapt, and survive against impossible odds. Captain Carter spoke quietly to his officers. "This is the first lesson. The Verks and the galaxy will learn it, but we must be ready. Humans endure, humans survive, and humans win." The stars stretched endlessly, and Earth waited, patient and unbroken. Humans had survived the first trial. The galaxy had begun to see what the planet and its people were capable of. The first battle was over, but the story of human endurance had only just begun. And far across the council chambers, the galaxy began to realize that it had been wrong. Earth was not weak, humans were not fragile, and the universe would never forget what it had seen. The council was silent. Screens all over the chamber showed static at first, then blurred images of ships drifting through the outer edges of the solar system. At first, the council members thought it was a normal malfunction. Then fragments of footage appeared, Verk scouts caught in a strange chaos near Earth. The ships trembled in orbit, systems failing, weapons misfiring, and strange, jagged energy surges rocking them like children's toys. Some scouts drifted apart from their formation, tumbling silently. Ethan Cole, the human ambassador, leaned forward in his chair. He didn't speak immediately. Instead, he let the council stare at the images, hoping they would begin to understand. The room was cold, every member trying to hide the shock. After a long moment, he spoke. "This is Earth," he said softly. "Not as you thought it is, not a fragile, helpless world. This is what it always was." A ripple of murmurs spread across the council chamber. Many leaned closer, eyes wide, still unwilling to believe. Maya Collins, the council liaison assigned to monitor Earth, looked pale. She had seen reports before, but nothing like this. These ships are failing?" she asked, her voice trembling. "They are," Ethan replied. "The ships were built for normal gravity, normal conditions. They are not built to survive what humans live under every day. Our world is harsher than anything your fleets are prepared for." Lena Brooks, Earth's defense analyst, was watching the council from a secure terminal on the planet's surface. She could feel the tension through the live feed. "Captain Carter," she said quietly, "the fleet is holding position. Enemy vessels are entering our upper atmosphere, and they are already showing signs of strain." Captain Ryan Carter, in the command room of Earth's flagship, stood with his arms crossed, eyes scanning tactical displays. His calm presence was almost unnerving to his crew. "Keep them coming," he said. "Let them learn quickly." The council didn't understand at first. How could a small, supposedly backward planet cause so much trouble? Most of their records had Earth marked as insignificant, a minor rock in the galaxy. Yet here, live before them, humans were showing something no other species had. The scout ships couldn't move properly. Weapons overheated. Hulls cracked under normal maneuvers. Daniel Hayes, a junior archivist in the council, had been digging into old records for weeks. He was quiet, always curious, always watching. Now he leaned forward with a mix of fear and excitement. "This is what the old archives were warning about," he said. "Earth wasn't always listed as weak. There was a reclassification, something hidden. It called Earth a death world, but the files were sealed." "Death world?" one council member repeated. "That is only a theoretical category. No civilization survives under death world conditions." "Yes," Daniel said, "except humans, they do. They are built for it." Ethan nodded. "Earth's gravity is higher than most worlds. Our climate is extreme. Disease and predators are everywhere. Humans have survived all this for millennia. You are seeing the result now." Across the galaxy, the Verk scouts were suffering. Their weapons could not fire steadily. Engines overheated and failed. The energy shields flickered and collapsed under the strain of the gravitational pressure. Their commanders had expected an easy conquest, a simple warning to force humans to surrender. But now their soldiers were dying in ways no one had prepared for. On Earth, Captain Carter watched the first engagement through tactical displays. He had already planned for this. Human ships, smaller than the Verk's dreadnoughts, could move with agility impossible in high gravity. Every maneuver was calculated based on Earth's natural conditions. A sharp gravity well, combined with unpredictable planetary winds, made the Verk's ships sluggish. "Status?" Carter asked Lena Brooks. "All systems nominal," Lena replied. "They can fire, but their targeting is off. Their engines are burning too much fuel trying to maintain orbit. They are making mistakes we can predict." Carter smiled slightly. "Good. Let's make sure they never forget it." The council watched in horror. The Verks were supposed to be one of the strongest empires in this part of the galaxy. Now their fleet was breaking apart before the humans even fully engaged. One council member whispered, They can't be this strong, not a species from a small blue planet." Ethan Cole spoke again, his voice calm but firm. "You are seeing human resilience, the result of survival under extreme conditions. This is not just strength. It is adaptability, it is intelligence, it is persistence." The Verk's commander aboard his flagship realized the mistake too late. His ship's shields failed during a sharp turn to avoid an orbital platform hidden beneath Earth's surface. The humans had prepared traps, devices, and defensive stations that activated without warning. Their fleet, trained in chaos and endurance, moved through these traps like dancers, precise and deadly. Meanwhile, Daniel Hayes reviewed sealed council records in real time. He read aloud more to himself than anyone else. The records, Earth was quarantined intentionally. Ancient explorers saw what humans could become. They feared it. That is why our species' strength was hidden. The council chamber was silent. Even those used to centuries of diplomacy could not deny what they were seeing. The humans were not just defending themselves. They were dominating under conditions that should have destroyed them. "Captain Carter," Lena said over the comms, "the enemy is trying to regroup, but their communications are breaking down. They can't coordinate properly." "Good," Carter replied. "Keep them scattered. Let's see how they handle a real fight." Ethan turned to the council. "Do you understand now? Earth is not weak. It never was. You may have underestimated it, but you cannot anymore." The Verk's flagship attempted to fire a concentrated blast on the orbital defense platform. The human tactical team had already predicted this. They adjusted energy shields and redirected part of their fleet to interfere. The blast missed, vaporizing a distant asteroid instead. The humans remained unscathed. Maya Collins, who had once been skeptical of human capability, could not hide her awe. She whispered, They are perfect for this environment. It's like they were built for war." "They were," Ethan said quietly. "Not because they wanted it, but because survival demanded it. Every challenge forged humans into something you cannot ignore. You are seeing evolution at work, sharpened by necessity." The council's fear turned to confusion and then awe. They had spent centuries classifying planets and species. They thought Earth was an unremarkable rock. Now they saw what centuries of harsh conditions had done to humans. The scouts were being destroyed, and the Verk's commanders had no idea how to fight back effectively. On Earth, the hidden orbital platforms came online. Massive human ships emerged from deep cover, perfectly camouflaged in asteroid fields or planetary shadow. Smaller skirmish ships moved through these massive vessels, coordinating with the defense grid with flawless precision. Lena Brooks observed the battlefield. "It's like they know exactly what will happen before it happens. Every move, every reaction, it's perfect." Ryan Carter stood silent, watching the enemy fleet collapse. His voice was calm but filled with authority. "It's not luck, it's preparation. Humans survive because they think ahead. They adapt to everything. That is why the Verks are failing." The Verk's admiral finally realized the truth. He called for a retreat, but many of his ships were already incapacitated. Engines failed, weapons misfired, and the crews were unprepared for the chaos of Earth's environment. Even their fastest vessels could not escape without loss. Daniel Hayes, still reading the archives, added another layer of revelation. Earth was hidden for a reason. The galaxy feared what humans could do if unleashed. You are witnessing what that means now. Humans were never just another species. They were always a crucible forged for survival under impossible conditions. Ethan Cole nodded. "The Council should have known this. We warned some in the past, but few listened. Now you see for yourselves, Earth is not a planet to conquer. It is a planet to respect or fear." The last of the Verk scouts drifted helplessly in orbit, their systems fried. Smoke trailed from ruptured engines, and many ships began to break apart under gravitational strain. Maya Collins finally stood. Her face was pale, but her eyes were wide. I don't know what to say. I thought humans were fragile. I thought they could be ignored. I was wrong." Ethan smiled faintly, though his expression was serious. It is not arrogance that allowed humans to survive. It is adaptation. You are witnessing the result of centuries of struggle. Humans fight not because they are cruel, but because survival demanded it. And in the end, it made them stronger than anyone anticipated. Captain Carter issued one final order. The human fleet held formation, letting the Verks see the full extent of Earth's defenses. There was no aggression beyond necessary defense, yet the message was clear. Daniel Hayes turned to the council. This changes everything. Earth is no longer a minor planet. It is a crucible species. The galaxy must reconsider its view of humanity. And as the council watched the last Verks vessels limp away, their pride shattered. They understood for the first time. They had misjudged humanity, underestimated the power forged from survival, and ignored the truth hidden in the archives. The quiet, unassuming planet was more dangerous, more resilient, and more remarkable than anyone had ever realized. Ethan Cole finally spoke to the council one last time before the feed ended. The galaxy has judged humans for what it thought we were. Now you have seen what we really are. And the Verks, they learned the hardest way that Earth is not a world to conquer. It is a world that survives always. Silence filled the council chamber. The screens went blank, leaving the members staring at one another. No one spoke. The images, the failures of the Verks fleet, the precision of human strategy, and the revelation from the archives had shaken them to the core. For the first time in galactic history, the council understood that Earth had been underestimated, and that underestimation had been dangerous. And far above the planet, in orbit around the sun, Captain Carter looked out of the viewport of his flagship. The solar wind shimmered across the blackness of space. His fleet was ready. Earth had won the first battle, but the true lesson had just begun. Somewhere, deep in the council archives, Daniel Hayes began preparing reports. The rest of the galaxy would soon know what humans really were. And when that happened, the galaxy would tremble. The Verks fleet limped away, but the humans on Earth did not relax. Captain Ryan Carter knew the first wave was only a test. The Verks would return, stronger with reinforcements. But humans had already prepared for this. Every orbital platform, every hidden shipyard, every underground defense installation was active and ready. They had fought the impossible before, and they were ready to do it again. Lena Brooks watched the tactical feeds closely. Her fingers moved over the consoles, adjusting shields, redistributing energy, and monitoring fleet positions. Every move was precise, every calculation designed to exploit the enemy's weakness. She glanced at Carter and said, "They won't expect the second wave. They think the first was luck." Carter shook his head slowly. "They are about to learn there is no luck on Earth, only preparation and survival." Far across the galaxy, the council still struggled to process what they had seen. Maya Collins returned to her observation post, silent, replaying the footage again and again. She could not believe what she saw. Humans had survived impossible conditions, outmaneuvered one of the strongest fleets in the sector, and done it with almost no visible strain. Their ships moved as if the planet itself guided them. Daniel Hayes studied the sealed archives, the ancient simulations, and long-forgotten battle reports. Each page he read confirmed what they had all just witnessed. Earth had never been weak. It had been hidden, quarantined, and underestimated for centuries. And now the Verks were learning what humans could do. Meanwhile, on Earth, Ethan Cole addressed the council once more via live communication. His calm voice carried authority. "You must understand, the Verks assumed weakness because humans appear small and unremarkable. They expected surrender. What they received was a response shaped by centuries of challenge. This is who humans are. We do not break, we adapt, and we endure." Back on the flagship, Carter prepared the fleet for the inevitable second wave. He spoke to his officers, each of them experienced in extreme conditions. "The Verks will come back with more ships, more firepower, more confidence. They do not understand what Earth teaches us every day. But we do. We will use that knowledge. We will survive, and we will win." The Verks commanders, meanwhile, were panicked. Their scouts had been destroyed, their weapons systems damaged, and their crews terrified. They called their leaders, demanding guidance, but even their generals were confused. No fleet in history had failed so completely in what should have been an easy mission. One admiral muttered in disbelief, "How can a species survive in a world like that?" The humans did not wait for the Verks to strike. They took the fight to them. Smaller, faster human skirmishers moved into strategic positions, taking advantage of the Verx's slow and cumbersome ships. High-gravity maneuvers that would have destroyed alien ships were second nature to human pilots. Every move was calculated, every action coordinated without mistakes. Lena Brooks monitored the enemy closely. "Captain, they are trying to regroup near the asteroid belt. They think hiding there will protect them." Carter nodded. "Let them, they don't know what they are facing." Human vessels moved through the asteroid belt with ease. The Verx ships struggled, engines straining under the irregular gravity and debris. One by one, the alien ships were disabled or destroyed. Explosions lit the darkness of space, but human ships emerged unscathed, their shields adapted to conditions that would crush almost any other species. On Earth, civilians watched the news feeds in awe. For centuries, they had trained in secret, built advanced ships in hidden locations, and prepared for the worst. Now, the results of that preparation were visible to the entire galaxy. Earth was no longer a hidden world. It was a fortress, a crucible that had forged a species capable of surviving the impossible. Ethan Cole returned to the council feed. His tone was calm but firm. "You see now why Earth was quarantined. We were not abandoned out of neglect. We were left alone because our potential was too dangerous to be left unguarded, and now you see why the Verx fear us." The council members were silent. Some could not speak, unable to process the combination of human strategy, endurance, and intelligence. Others whispered quietly among themselves, realizing the mistakes they had made in underestimating a species they thought they knew. Daniel Hayes added a historical perspective. Ancient explorers recorded that humans could survive conditions that killed almost every other species. High gravity, disease, predators, extreme weather. Humans adapted and thrived in all of it. Every environment shaped them. Every challenge made them stronger. This is not chance, this is evolution, and it is dangerous to ignore. The Verx, desperate to save what remained of their fleet, called for reinforcements from distant sectors. But each message was delayed, each response slower than expected. By the time new ships arrived, the humans had already adapted, predicting enemy movements and countering with precision. On Earth, Captain Carter issued a bold order. "We will force them into the gravity well near the planet. Their ships cannot survive there for long. Our advantage is absolute. Let's use it." The fleet moved in coordination, drawing the Verx into the trap. As expected, the alien ships struggled to maintain orbit, engines overheating, weapons systems failing, and shields flickering. Human ships danced around them unharmed, exploiting every weakness. Maya Collins watched from the council observation post. Her skepticism had vanished entirely. "They are perfect in this environment," she whispered. "Every move, every decision, they know it all before it happens. They are unstoppable here." Ethan Cole's voice cut through the council feed again. "It is not perfection, it is adaptation. Humans have survived every storm, every predator, every disease on their planet. Warships, fleets, and strategy are nothing compared to what we have faced naturally for centuries. You are seeing the product of survival at its highest form." The Verx flagship, desperate and failing, sent a message to the council, begging for intervention. They admitted their mistake. They acknowledged that the humans were unlike any other species they had faced. They admitted defeat, though it was unclear if they would survive to retreat fully. Daniel Hayes looked around the council chamber. "This is unprecedented. The galaxy has never seen a species survive like this. Never one with such adaptability, such endurance. Earth is not just a planet. It is a crucible that produces apex beings." Even the Verx commanders knew it. They had underestimated humans, and now they were paying the price. Many ships were lost, entire fleets damaged, and morale shattered. The humans had proven a simple truth: survival under extreme conditions produces strength beyond comprehension. Captain Carter gave his final command. "Hold formation, let them retreat. We will not pursue beyond what is necessary. This battle is a lesson, not a hunt. They must understand who they are dealing with." On Earth, celebrations were muted. The humans knew this was only the beginning. The Verx would return, eventually stronger and smarter. But Earth was ready. Every ship, every fleet, every hidden defense system had been tested. Humanity had proven itself capable of surviving the impossible and winning. Ethan Cole addressed the council one last time. "The galaxy must now see humans for what we are. We are not weak. We are not fragile. We survive, we endure, and we adapt. Those who ignore this truth do so at their own peril. The Verks learned it today. You are next. The council was silent. Some were afraid, some were in awe, some were already calculating what to do next. No one had predicted the level of human resilience, the speed of their adaptation, or the power hidden in a world they had long dismissed as weak. Daniel Hayes returned to his records, already preparing reports. The archives had been sealed to hide Earth's true potential, but now it was impossible to deny. Humans had survived conditions that would have ended any other species. Humans had fought an enemy fleet far superior in numbers and technology and emerged victorious. Maya Collins sat quietly, absorbing the events. I never imagined anything like this. Ethan Cole's voice echoed in her mind through the council feed. Humans are not meant to be imagined, they are meant to survive. And in doing so, they become more than you can ever comprehend. The Verks, retreating, spread word to the rest of the galaxy. The message was simple: Earth is not a weak planet. Humans are not a weak species. Engage them at your own risk. On Earth, Captain Carter looked at the stars beyond the planet. The sun shone bright, the oceans glimmered, and the planet was alive with energy. Humans had survived the first real test against the Verks. They had proven that survival under impossible conditions forged a species unlike any other. Lena Brooks stood next to him. They won't try again soon, she said. They know we are ready, Carter nodded. They may try, they may always try, but Earth will endure. Humans will endure, and the galaxy will remember this day. Ethan Cole turned back to the council feed. Do not forget what you have seen. Humanity was underestimated for centuries. That mistake will not be repeated. The Verks learned too late. The galaxy will learn in time. Earth is not weak. It is a crucible of survival, and humans are the result. Daniel Hayes closed the old archives, finally understanding what had been hidden for generations. Humans were not just a species. They were the ultimate product of a planet that demanded the impossible. And now the galaxy would finally know the truth. Far above Earth, human ships returned to orbit undamaged, their crews calm but alert. The first wave had passed. The second wave had been defeated. And the humans had shown the Council, the Verks, and the galaxy what it truly meant to survive. Captain Carter spoke one final time. We fight when we must, we survive when we must, and we win when survival demands it. That is who we are, that is what Earth has always been. And the galaxy will never forget it. The Council went silent. They had learned the truth. They had seen the strength, the skill, and the endurance of humans, and for the first time they realized underestimating Earth was a mistake that could have destroyed them. Daniel Hayes whispered softly to himself, the galaxy will tremble when it finally understands who humans really are. And above the planet, the humans waited, calm, patient, and ready. The Verks would not forget this day. The Council would not forget this day. And Earth would continue to endure as it always had, shaping a species that could survive anything. The Verks had retreated, but Earth did not relax. Captain Ryan Carter knew the galaxy had just seen the first true measure of human strength. He stood on the bridge of his flagship, eyes on the stars. The sun reflected across the metallic hulls of the fleet, casting long shadows in space. Earth's ships were calm but ready. Every crew member knew the fight was far from over. Lena Brooks walked past him, reviewing tactical data on her tablet. Captain, she said, the Council is sending messages. They want a full report. They want to understand what they just saw. Carter nodded slowly. They will understand, they just don't know it yet. On the Council, silence filled the chamber. Maya Collins sat frozen in her chair, replaying the feat of the battle again and again. She had seen humans in action before, but never like this. Every movement, every decision, every tactical choice had been precise. The humans had used Earth itself, the gravity, the orbital platforms, the terrain, to their advantage. Even the Verks, one of the strongest forces in the galaxy, had been forced to retreat. Daniel Hayes was standing nearby, holding the old archives that had finally been unsealed. He spoke softly, almost to himself. The records were right. Humans are not just a species. They are the product of the hardest crucible in the galaxy. Survival made them unstoppable. Ethan Cole appeared on the Council feed. His calm face contrasted with the tension in the room. You have seen the truth, he said. Earth is not weak. Humans are not fragile. We survive because we must. We endure because survival demands it, and we have proven that today. The Council members shifted in their seats. Some were afraid, some were amazed. A few tried to argue that humans had only won because of luck or technology. Ethan shook his head. "It is not luck," he said firmly. "It is adaptation, it is intelligence, it is endurance shaped by centuries of challenge." The Verks learned this the hard way. You will learn it as well if you underestimate humanity. Far above Earth, Captain Carter ordered the fleet to maintain position. He did not want to destroy the retreating Verks entirely. Humans had survived and won because they were prepared, not because they sought conquest. Carter believed in restraint. He wanted the galaxy to understand that humans were strong but not careless. Lena Brooks leaned over the tactical display. "Captain, the Verks are sending warnings to other sectors. They are telling everyone not to underestimate humans." Carter's lips curved slightly. "Good. Let them spread the word. Let the galaxy understand, but Earth will not attack first. We defend, we survive. And we end only when necessary." Ethan Cole addressed the council again. "For centuries, humans have lived under conditions that would destroy any other species. High gravity, extreme weather, predators, disease, and war have shaped us. The Verks thought they could destroy us easily. They were wrong. And now the galaxy must understand why Earth was quarantined and hidden. Humanity was never weak. We were waiting, growing, learning, surviving." Daniel Hayes, reading through the archives, uncovered simulations showing humans surviving impossible conditions. Each simulation showed a scenario far worse than what had actually occurred. Humans adapted, overcame, and endured every challenge. "They are built for survival," he whispered to himself, "and the galaxy is only now seeing it." Maya Collins could not hide her astonishment. She had monitored Earth for years, but she had underestimated the humans' capability. "I thought we knew them," she admitted quietly. "But we did not, we could not." Ethan Cole's voice was steady. "You never truly knew humans. You only observed what appeared on the surface. The truth was hidden. Humans are forged by challenge. We survive because the world demanded it. The galaxy now knows what we have always known." The Verks, retreating, spread warnings across nearby sectors. Their fleets were damaged, their pride destroyed. They told others not to approach Earth without extreme caution. Word of human strength spread quickly, shaking alliances, trade routes, and even military strategies across the galaxy. On Earth, Captain Carter gathered his senior officers. "This was the first test. They will return and others will come. We must remain vigilant. Every ship, every crew member, every strategy must be ready. Humans survive because we are ready for anything. That is how we fight, and that is how we win." Lena Brooks nodded. "The orbital platforms are fully operational. The fleet is in top condition. We can handle them." Carter looked out at the stars. "Not just handle them," he said. "We will make sure they remember who we are. The galaxy will never forget Earth." Ethan Cole continued to address the council. "You may have ignored warnings in the past. You may have dismissed humans as weak. But that mistake will not be repeated. Humans do not give up. Humans do not surrender. And humans endure what others cannot. The galaxy must respect that now." Daniel Hayes closed the ancient archives, understanding at last why Earth had been hidden. Humans were not just another species. They were the ultimate result of survival under extreme conditions. Every challenge, every predator, every disaster had forged a species capable of withstanding the impossible. Maya Collins, still watching, finally spoke aloud. "I understand now. Humans are more than we imagined, more than we expected. They are unstoppable where others would fail." Ethan Cole's voice carried one final warning. "The Verks learned the hard way. The Council now knows, and the galaxy will learn in time. Humanity does not seek conquest, but we will survive, and we will protect our world. Anyone who forgets this does so at their own risk." The Council members were silent, absorbing the weight of what had just occurred. They had underestimated Earth for centuries. They had ignored warnings from the archives, and now they were forced to recognize the truth. Humans were not weak, not fragile, not minor. They were strong, resilient, and dangerous to those who did not understand them. Far above the planet, the human fleet returned to orbit, calm and disciplined. Ships moved with precision, shields and weapons systems intact, crews alert but unshaken. Earth had survived the first true battle of the Verks invasion. Humans had proven that survival under impossible conditions created a species unlike any other in the galaxy. Captain Carter looked at the stars, thinking of the battles to come. "This is only the beginning," he said. "The Verks will try again, others will come, but we are ready. We survive, we endure, and we will win. Lena Brooks watched the tactical screens tracking the retreating Verks. "They will not forget this," she said, "and neither will the rest of the galaxy." Carter nodded. "Let them remember, let them understand, Earth is not weak. Humans are not fragile, and the galaxy will tremble when it finally learns the truth." Ethan Cole addressed the council one last time. "The Verks have fled. Other species will soon hear their reports. Earth has survived what others thought impossible. Humans have proven their strength, their endurance, and their ability to adapt. You must not forget this. The galaxy will tremble because of what humans have become." Daniel Hayes looked at the archives one final time, closing the book on centuries of secrecy. "The galaxy underestimated humans," he said softly, "and it will pay attention now. Earth was never weak. Humans were never weak, and the Verks learned that too late." On Earth, civilians celebrated quietly. The humans knew this was only the beginning, but they also knew they had proven a point. Their planet had survived what no other world could, their fleet had defeated a superior force, and the galaxy had finally seen the truth. Captain Carter addressed his crew. "We fought today not for glory, not for conquest, but for survival. That is what humans do. We survive, we endure, we win. And we will continue to do so no matter the challenge." Lena Brooks smiled. "They won't try again for a while," she said. "And when they do, we'll be ready." Carter looked out at the stars one last time. "They never know what we are capable of. They never will until it is too late. That is the way humans have always been. That is the way we will remain." Ethan Cole ended the communication with the council. "Remember this day. The galaxy has seen what humans can do. We did not seek conquest, but we will not be conquered. Humans endure, humans survive, and humans will always protect Earth." Daniel Hayes whispered to himself, closing the last report. "The galaxy will never forget. They will remember Earth and the humans who survive against all odds." The Verks fleet drifted further away, their morale shattered, their pride destroyed. Across the galaxy, whispers spread. Earth was not a weak planet. Humans were not a minor species. The galaxy had underestimated them for centuries, and now it would learn to respect, fear, and admire their strength. On Earth, the sun rose over oceans, mountains, and forests, reflecting off human ships in orbit. The planet was alive, thriving, and ready. Humans had survived, humans had won, and humans had shown the galaxy what it meant to endure. Captain Carter stood tall on the bridge, looking out into space. "We fight when we must, we survive because we must, and we win because that is who we are. That is Earth, that is humanity, and the galaxy will tremble when it finally understands." Lena Brooks stood beside him, silent, watching the stars. "We are ready," she said. Carter nodded. "We have always been ready, and we always will be." The council sat in silence, realizing the truth too late. Humanity was not a species to control, not a planet to ignore, and not a force to underestimate. They had survived the impossible, fought the unbeatable, and shown the galaxy that Earth was a crucible that forged the strongest species in history. And somewhere in the distance, beyond the stars, the rest of the galaxy began to whisper the same words. Earth is not weak. Humans are not fragile. The galaxy will never forget what it has seen. The galaxy will tremble. And on Earth, life continued, calm, patient, and ready. Humans had survived, humans had endured, and humans had won. The galaxy would remember, and the humans would continue to prepare, survive, and endure. Because that is what they always had. That is what they always would.